guys, I'm Annabelle and welcome back to Meeple Village. One of our viewers asked us to do a playthrough of Mage Knight. So here we are. Mage Knight is a game for 1 to 4 players. I'm going to be doing a solo game and I'm going to be showing you all of the exploration, all of the deck building, the fame, the reputation, the monsters. So come on, join me at the table and let's play Mage Knight, the board game. Okay guys, I have the game ready to go. Let's go over setup. We're going to go over the setup for the board and then we're going to take a look at the player board. I have chosen to go ahead and play as Goldex in this game, and you're going to get to see his player board in a minute. But first, what is all this? Well, over here we have the map, and here's my dude, Goldex. Hello, sir. You look fierce. Very good. He starts here at this portal, magic portal, and according to this scenario, which is the introductory scenario, we set up the game like this with 2 tiles already out, and we're going to be exploring out. This is an exploration game. Our goal is to find the city, and the way we do that is, like I said, put these 2 out, and then we have a whole bunch more that are here waiting for us. There's actually some that have a green backing, and then there's some that have a brown backing. This is countryside, and this is where our cities are. So they are, in this particular scenario, they're placed in a specific order. So I have them already here. They go in ascending order. So this is tile number 1 right here. It's tiny, but you can see the little number right there. Then tile number 2, the next one is 3, 4, 5, etc. We are going to play with 8 tiles because I'm playing a solo game, so we need to take some tiles out. I believe there's a total of like 15 or 12, I don't remember, but it's more than 8. And then one of these 3 is our city, and if we look, here's our city right here. That's the one we need to find. When we do that, we trigger the end of the game, we take 1 more turn, and then the game is over. I was supposed to pick 2 more randomly and then shuffle them, and put these 3, get my good shuffle, at the bottom of the deck, so we don't know when the city is going to come out. It might be the first tile out of the 3, but it might be the last. So I'm going to put these out here, out of the camera, so that we can focus on the main stuff. On the game board itself, we have 2 orcs, and we're supposed to pick at random 2 tokens. I got them here. We're going to flip them now, see what we got. Okay. And we'll talk more about what all these symbols mean when we get into the game, but they're set up. We can attack them, we can get reputation out of that, so you'll see all that happening soon. What's over here? Okay, over here is our reputation and fame track. Fame is kind of like your XP. The more fame you get, you gain XP, and you can then level up and get some more cool skills and powers, and it's a deck builder, so you're going to be getting better cards to add to your deck. We start at level 0, and I put a shield of my character's color or shield right here on 0. And once we go to level 3, we're going to start leveling up and doing cool things. Over here is our reputation track, and our reputation also starts at 0. Nobody really cares about us right now. We are nobodies. But as we start doing cool things like attacking those orcs, our reputation is going to start going up high. +1, +1, +1, +2, and that's going to help us, well, recruit more troops that are going to help us along the way, because of course people have heard of our stories and how awesome Goldex is, and they want to join in the quest. Up there, wounds. This is a deck builder, so the wounds are going to be clogging up your deck. They have the same backing because, of course, again, deck builder, so you won't know when the wounds are coming. Over here we have our advanced cards. These are the cards that we're going to get to make our deck better. So shuffle, and the game instructs us for the introductory game not to put them out until we can actually get some. And right now we can't get them. There's no way we can get them. These are powerful artifacts that we can also get during the course of the game. They are going to come into play much later, so just leave them here. And these, although they have the same backing, these are our spells. And spells we can also acquire later during the game. I'm sure we will, and I'm sure I'll show you how they work. So shuffle those and put those here. And then at the bottom we have, this is our day. So during the day we use this side of the board. At night we flip it and it becomes nighttime. And these little icons are how much movement costs. They're different depending on day or night. For example, The forest is costs 3 to move during the day because you can see what's going on. But at night, it's really hard to travel through the forest. So you are going to, it tells you right here, at night it's going to turn into a 5. And if I flip it, you can see that at night the forest is a 5. But then it kind of tells you in the morning it's going to be easier in case you want to wait. So I love that they did that so you can always kind of plan ahead and think, well, maybe I should travel tomorrow when it's daylight. These are our mana dice, and we can use 1 dice per turn. It's 2 plus the number of players. So because I'm playing a solo game, we have 3. We're going to roll them. Okay, if we get any black die, we separate it. That is mana that can only be used at night. It's black mana. So it's depleted. We actually just have 2 to play with during the first turn. These are the units that we can recruit. Remember how I told you that if our reputation gets better, it's easier to recruit units? This is the deck that will let us do that. So let's give it a shuffle. And we are going to get in the pool of units that we can recruit 2 plus a number of players. So because I'm playing solo, it's going to be 2 plus 1, so 3. So let's go ahead and flip 3. Okay. Now let me show you these a little closer so you can see some of the symbols because it's going to matter for setup. So right now the only thing that we need to look at are these symbols that are right there. And what that tells you is where you can get these units. This symbol that looks like a little house is a village. And the game instructs us that for the first turn you have at least 1 card that has a village icon on it because there are villages already available on the map, so we can recruit these 2 units. Of course, they're a little expensive. These are how much they cost. So 5 influence to recruit those units. But those are the ones we got. We've got the village ones, so we're good to go. So that's it for what's on the table. Now we're going to go ahead and take a look at our character, our gold decks in more detail and see how you set that up. So every character is going to have an area that's going to look just like this. We have their shields in their color, which is going to help us denote what things we have conquered, and that's going to give us points at the end of the game. I'm not going to talk about scoring yet. The game suggests that you play 1 round before you actually talk about scoring, but we'll get there. These are skills that Goldex can acquire as he levels up, and the skills are actually listed right here. We're going to take a look later at these because we need to make a choice when we level up about what skill we have. So you're going to see all of that played out later. Over here is our boy. There he is, Goldex. And these tokens denote what level we're right now on. So at the beginning of the game, of course, we are at level 1, and this token is good for level 1 and 2. It's going to indicate our armor, so how much protection we get from incoming attacks, as well as our hand size. So right now our hand size is 5. This is our deck where we're going to get 5 cards. I'm going to shuffle that. And before I shuffle, let me show you. It's really easy to find out like what cards belong in your deck, because if you look at the top, it has the same symbol for Goldex. So all of his cards are going to have, oops, there they are, yes. All of his cards are going to have that symbol. And he also has a card with his picture on it. And that card is specifically just for him. He's the only one that has this unique card. So he has 1 unique power that belongs to Goldex. So again, we shuffle and we are going to take 5 cards into our hands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we'll look at those when the game begins. The last thing that is on our player area is this shield, and this shield denotes the units that we can carry. So right now we can only have up to 1 unit. So if we go recruit units at the village, the ones I showed you before, then we cannot recruit more than 1 because we don't have room for them. But as we progress and level up, if you notice, when you flip this, boom, now we can have 2 units. So that's kind of cool how the game really helps you stay on track of what you got and what you're able to get. But that's it for setup. So you've seen how to set up the game. Now we can go to gameplay. So if I was playing with more players, the first thing that we would do is we would pick a tactics card. And there are tactics cards for the daytime and there are tactic cards for nighttime. Let's take a look at these, but I'm not going to be using them because I'm playing solo. And what they do is they give you a little bit of an advantage if you go later in the turn. They have the initiative, so you'll see that they're numbered, and I'll show you in a minute, but they're numbered so that you know who is going to go first in the turn. But they also give you a special ability, kind of like if you go last, then it's not that bad because you're going to get a stronger power. Let's take a look at those. I want to just show them real quick, but we're not going to be using them this game because I'm the only player. It would be unfair for me to have an advantage when there's no one. I can always take the best card out of there, or the one that I need, because there's no one else. I'm always going to be first. There's no one else to play with me. So let's check them out. So if I decide to go first, then I get no special power, but I can rethink. And when I do, then I can discard up to 3 cards and then draw again. So if I don't like what I have and I'm not going to be able to use it, then, rethink it. There's also mana seal, which of course helps me with mana, which you're going to see. There's also planning at the end of each turn. If you have just at least 2 cards in your hand before you draw 1 higher. So it gives you more cards into your hand. Great start. When you take this tactic, you draw 2 more cards. So you see how you get special powers, and then the right moment. So these are the daytime cards. Let's check out the nighttime cards real quick. At night, you can also just be first and have no special power, but you can have a long night. If your deck is empty, you may shuffle your discard pile and put 3 cards at random back into your deck. So helps you stay up a little later at night. Mana search, which again is going to help you with your mana. Midnight meditation, which helps you one time this night before any of your turns, you may shuffle up to 5 cards, including your wounds, from your hand back into your deep deck and then draw that many cards. So again, it just lets you get better cards into your hand if you don't have what you were needed or what you wanted. Preparation and sparing power. But we're not going to be using these, like I said, so I'm going to go ahead and put them away. All right, so let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to take a look at our cards and then kind of make a plan of what we want to do. If I look at the map, what I would love to do is to show you combat right now. Before we do that though, let's talk about the map and what everything means. These are obviously different terrains. We got plains, we got forest, we have hills, we have different things. But what are these little things? Well, the game does something really cool. It kind of gives you these reference cards that tell you exactly what each of these buildings or structures do. So for example, here is a village. What does a village do? You don't remember? Easy, just look at the card. Let me show you the card now. So if we reach the village, we can recruit units. Those are the units that are out, ready to be recruited, and that have that little house symbol that I showed you before. We can also heal. And we can also plunder. At the end of our turn, if we plunder a village, we lose some reputation, which is not good, but we get more cards into our hand. Next up, let's look at these crystal mines. Let's take a look at what those are. Crystal mines give you mana. If you end your turn on a mine, gain 1 mana or mana crystal of the color that the mine produces to your inventory. And I will tell you there are 3 different types of mana in this game. One is the dice, which you've seen already, and those you can use 1 per turn. Then we have more dice just in case we need to roll, but then after that we have mana crystals and just mana tokens, and they're the same, those little things. So this right here, it could be either a mana token or a mana crystal. What's the difference? Good question. The difference is that mana tokens go away. If you don't use them during the turn, they disappear. However, mana crystals, they stay in your inventory and you can use them later. Of course, manas, they react when they're together, so you can only keep 3 mana crystals of the same color. So you cannot have 4 green crystals in your inventory, only up to 3. Same goes with every other color. 3 white, 3 yellow, whatever the color is, only 3 in your inventory. But those crystal mines are going to give us crystals, which is going to be very helpful because mana is going to come in very handy. You'll see it. So that's crystals as mana crystal. What else is on the map? What about this one? Let's check that one out. So on the same card as the crystal mines, we have the magical glade. And that one is going to help us heal, which right now we don't need to, so probably not need to visit there. And then also, if you start your turn on this magical glade, during the day, you gain a gold mana. And at night, you get a black mana. And gold and black mana are special because they are they have the gold mana is a wild, and the black mana helps you to use your most powerful spells. And we'll talk about those as we have the need to, but at least know that the magical glade is available and out in the map, ready to be used. The last thing that's on the map that we need to talk about are those orcs, and especially because that's probably where I want to go next. So let's take a look at what the orcs are and what they do. So the orcs, it says, when they're revealed, like they were revealed at the beginning of setup, place a green orc enemy token face up on this space, which we did. We already have that done. The effect, no one can enter a space that is occupied by an orc enemy token. Orcs can be provoked into combat by a player who moves from one space adjacent to them to another space adjacent to them. So if we move from one space adjacent to another, they attack us. And then action. You can challenge orcs from an adjacent space as your action, which we're probably going to do this turn if the cards allow us. And then the reward is, if you defeat the orcs, discard their token and gain +1 reputation. Yay, that's what we're going for. That sweet reputation. The sooner the better. All right, so let's go. I got my 5 cards. Let's see what we can do with them. See if we can get to the, I'm thinking this one, and I'll show you why right now. So here's our favorite orc. There's a picture of him looking menacing. Up here is their armor, so that means how much damage we have to do to actually defeat him. This little tower right here means that I can only use siege attacks, not range attacks against them, which I'll show you in a minute when we get to combat. That's how much they hit us for if we take damage, and that's how much fame we get for defeating the orcs. Let's see if we can manage to do that. So in my hand, I have a few cards. I know the first thing that I need to do is move to get to the orcs. I have move 2, and move 2. So we're going to go ahead and use that, which is going to give me a total of 6 movement. And now let's go to the map and move our guy, and then we'll save these cards for in a minute. Let's go. Okay, so Goldex is over here. He needs to get adjacent to those orcs in order to be able to attack them. So if I look at what I have around me, I have a forest, which costs 3 to move, and then I have a plain, which is 2 to move. So I would need, and that I know because it's right here. So I would need a total of 5 movement. I have 6 movements, so I am more than capable of reaching the orcs. So I'll go ahead and use my 6 movement. I only use 5. The other one, well, I'll have to live with not being able to use it. But right now we are ready to engage in battle. Now I have not provoked the trolls because I moved adjacent, but I didn't move from an adjacent to an adjacent. Now if I was to move here or here, because I'm moving from an adjacent space to the orcs to another adjacent space to the orc, then they will be provoked and they will attack me anyways. Now, in my turn, I can do 2 things. I can move and then interact with the place or attack. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to move and my interaction is going to be an attack. Let's attack those trolls. The first phase of combat is ranged or sieged attacks. And I am the only one that does that. So if I manage to hit the orcs, which have an HP of 3, remember, with siege attacks or range attacks, I would defeat him. Now, in this case, these orcs, they can only be attacked by siege attacks. I'm guessing they're probably behind a wall or something. So our range attacks are not going to get them. Do I have any siege attacks? Attack, 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 block. I do not. So I cannot defeat the trolls. That means that they're going to go ahead and try and hurt me. And if you remember, they're going to want to hit me for 3. So I need to go ahead and block that. Let's see if I have something to block with. Okay, looking through my cards, I have a block 2 and another block 2. They're hitting me for 3, but if I use all those, then I won't be able to attack them. So how about this one? It says discard another card from your hand to get move 3, influence 3, attacks 3, or block 3. Well, they're hitting me for 3. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to use my improvisation and I'm going to say discard this card in order to get a block 3. I have managed to block all of the 3 damage that was incoming. If I wouldn't have, I would be taking some wounds right now. So after they attack me, now it's my turn to do some damage. And I only have 1 card left in my hand. I've used everything else to either block or discard so that I can use this card. So this is my only thing that I have left. Now, if you notice, I have an attack or block of 2, which is not enough to defeat him. I need to do 3 damage to them. But there's more. Look at the bottom. It says attack 4. So how do I do that? How do I get to use that ability? Well, for that, I need mana. And if you look in the middle of the card, there's a red symbol. which means that this card needs red mana to be powered up. So how do I get mana? Well, if you remember, I told you at the beginning of the game that we have a mana pool of dice that we can actually access. One per turn, only one. But guess what? We actually have a red mana sitting right here. So if I take that red mana and I use it in combination with this card, then my attack goes from a simple attack of 2 to an attack of 4, which will defeat the orcs. Once you use the die, then you go ahead and roll it for the next player, which in this case is going to be me, but let's see. Okay, we're going to have some green mana available for us next turn. But we've managed to defeat the orcs, so like I said, we get 1 reputation. So we're still at 0, but we're getting there. And also, these orcs give us 2 fame, so we're almost about to level up, which is great. This just gets discarded and out of the game for good. So we've done it, and with that I have completed my turn. So if there are more players, obviously, well, now it will be their turn to play, but there's no one else. So we can go ahead and end the game and then just do a little bit of cleanup for the next turn. So at the end of this round, I have to discard my cards, which I'm going to create a discard pile right here. This we're only going to need when we level up, so I'll keep it out of the view for now, so we can make some room for our cards. Now we also draw 5 more cards. Okay, let's see what we're going to do this turn. Okay, this is what we got. Let's do it. The first thing I'm going to do is move. I'm thinking I want to get to that village, but I also want to explore, because at the end of the day, this is an exploration game. Now, I only got 1 card that lets me move this turn. This card would let me move 2, or it would let me move 4 if I have a green mana dice. And I just rolled a green mana dice for this round, so I'm going to go ahead and spend that so I can move 4. So with my first 2 movement points, I'm going to visit the village. There I am. So now that I'm at the village, I still have 2 movement points left. And in order for me to explore, I need to spend 2 movement points. I'm at the edge of a map. So the first thing I need to do is declare what am I exploring. I'm going to explore right here. It's really the only legal place that I can explore. And I need to spend my 2 movement points. Now that's not an action. Exploring is part of movement. So in order to do that, we grab the next tile. And we know it's going to be tile number 3, because in this game they're in a specific order. And you have to make sure that the symbols match. So right here you see that we formed a little circle. And then there's a star also that we're putting together. And the numbers also all face down. So that's how you know that you've placed the tile right. You need to place it in a specific position. You can't just place it however you want. Now, in this particular game, and that doesn't happen in other games, as soon as we explore, we actually gain a fame. So I'm going to go ahead and mark that. Now you've seen that I've come to the next row here, so that means that I've leveled up. Now leveling up happens at the end of the turn, so I'm not going to worry about it now, but just know that we're going to have some cool things that we're going to be doing at the end of this round. Next up, we need to make sure that we know exactly what these things are. So we have a village, which we already know and understand. We have another one of these crystal mines, which we already know that we can get a crystal if we're there. This one is going to be a white crystal. But we've never seen this structure before, so that means that we can go look in the reference cards and find out what this is. So here is a keep. That's the same symbol that we got on the map. So what do? When revealed, place a gray enemy token face down on this space. This token is revealed during the day if a player is adjacent to it. So I got my gray token ready to be deployed on the map. Unconquered keep can be assaulted and you get reputation -1. The defending enemies are fortified. So that means that only siege attacks, because of course they're hiding at the keep. Unconquered keep can be assaulted and you get reputation -1. The defending enemies are fortified. If successfully assaulted, mark it with a shield token. You now own that keep. So we would get -1 reputation, but we will own the keep. Not bad. Other players' keeps can be assaulted and you get reputation -1. If the owner is, well, in this game, we're not going to have other players, so we can skip all that. And then what happens at your keep? You can recruit units with the keep icon here. If you end your turn on or adjacent to your keep you own, your hand limit is 1 higher than for each keep that you own. So it's kind of a good idea to maybe own a few of these, because then your hand will get, bigger and bigger as you have more of these. But then again, losing that one reputation, yeah, in this game, that's how it goes. All right, so let's set this up. Okay, now that I did all that and I finished my movement, now I can go ahead and interact in the village. And remember, in the village, I can recruit, and I have to recruit according to the symbol. So if I look at what's available, I have these two cards available, and they are both, they both cost the same. So first, let's see if we have enough influence to do that, and then we'll pick which card we want to get. So I have a card that will let me heal, which I don't need to, or draw a card, so I might do that. Let's see, influence 2. This one says to gain a mana token. Okay, so maybe we can do that. But right now I'm looking for influence. Right now I have influence 2, and here's influence 2. But here's influence 4, and here's actually influence 5. We already used the die, so we cannot take another die from the pool. So let's go back and take a look at what this thing gives us. It says gain a blue, white, or red mana token, or gain a green crystal to your inventory. So blue, white, or red. So I think if we get the red, we can use that. So let's go ahead and do that. So here is my red token. I'll put it right there. And then I'm going to actually activate this. Oh gosh, if I use this one though, it's going to give me -1 reputation. Let's see. But I need 5. Well, actually, no. Let's not take the white in. Let's think this over. We're going to actually take not take the red, but take the white. Gain a white mana, because then I can use it to influence 4. Plus with influence 2, I have 6, and it's more than enough. So I'll change my mind. Take backsies. Okay, here's my white mana token that I will use. I will gain here, and then I will use here to influence 4 plus influence 2. That allows me to get one of these 2 beautiful soldiers. So which unit do I want? Well, this unit is going to help me attack, and it's going to help me block. Already you're looking really good. This unit is going to let me move and block. I think we will go for the attacking guy. Yeah, let's take the guardsman. So I've decided to take the guardsman into my hand and put it on my player board. So like I said before, it goes down here, right on top of this shield. If I use it during a turn, then I have to mark that it's been used, and it doesn't refresh until later. The only card I have left is this card that I haven't used, is this card that lets me heal or draw a card. Now, I could draw a card now, but I don't think that's going to be very, very beneficial. I'm kind of stuck in a place where if I get a move 2, I cannot use any more mana to increase it to a move 4. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to save this card for next turn. You don't have to use all the cards. Just that next turn I'll be drawing 4 more cards, but I know that I can draw 1 more with the power of this card. So let's go ahead and finish the turn or the round and clean up. Okay, so in order to clean up, the first thing we're going to do is return all the mana that we've used and all the mana tokens, whether we used them or not, but we did use them. So we'll put those away. Also, we have to discard the cards that we played. Put these over here. And then this is the card that we did not play. Now we're going to get 4 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. And finally, we roll the dice. So we take all of the dice again and we roll them. Another black one and white. All we get is white this turn. Okay, with that then we can move on to the next turn. But before we do that, remember this turn we actually leveled up. So we got to take care of that. So there's 2 ways that you level up in the game. One is by getting better cards into your hand and skills, which is what we're going to do now. The other one is by getting more units, or by being able to recruit more units and leveling up per se in the game. So, but right now what we're going to do is we're going to be able to acquire 1 powerful card from the advanced deck. So in order to do that, now we have to reveal the first 3 cards. Let's take a closer look at those and see which one card we want to keep. Okay, so we have Ice Shield, we have Steady Tempo, which is a lot of reading, and Crushing Bolt. And to be honest, just looking at it, I think I like this Crushing Bolt. Not only will it give me a crystal to my inventory, a green crystal, but it's also, once I have this crystal and I get this card again, I can use it for siege attack. And you saw how that monster got to hit me because I didn't have siege attack. So this is the one I'm keeping. Go ahead and put that in our discard pile. It will come and be with us later. The other thing that we get are skills. And in order to do that, we get to pick the top 2 ones, take a look at them, and then pick one that we want to keep. So I already see that that's probably has something to do with siege attack. In order to check out what the skills do, we have that handy dandy player aid. Let's take a look at it. Let's go one by one. This one seems to be pretty simple. We just find it here. There it is. Freezing power. Once a turn, siege attack 1 or ice siege attack 1. So that's what this power is. Then let's find this one. It's right over here. Red Crystal Craft. Once a round, flip this to gain 1 blue crystal to your inventory and 1 red mana token. So flip it, get a blue crystal and a red mana token. I'm going to keep pushing that siege attack. So I'm going to go ahead and keep this skill. And now it's available from this turn on. And it's important to tell you that this skill actually gets added to a common pool. And when someone else levels up, if there are more players, they can actually get my skill because it's going to be in the pool. It's like I didn't want it, so I'm never going to be able to get it unless I go grab it from the pool. That is like a common pool where other players are also going to be dumping their skills that they don't want to use. Okay, so with that, we finished. We did the cleanup, so we can move on to our next turn. Let's see what we got. Okay, so here's the cards I got. I know that I want to try and explore because if I don't find that city, I will not win this game. So I'm going to use this move 2. And I believe I have another move 2 right here. Yes. And I would need another 2 points of movement in order to explore. So I can use a green, but there's no greens. So, and this doesn't do, I have white, but that's a range attack, so that's not going to help me. Let's see if there's any other way we can get a green mana token. So there it is. When you play this, also, no, that's not going to help us. Pay 1 mana of a basic color. The only color is white. Gain a crystal of that color. So not this one. And this is blue, so we can't use the, okay, how about mana draw? You can use 1 additional mana dice. No, we can't use that. How about this one? If we power it with white, which we have, take a mana die from the source and set it to any color except gold. Bingo. Gain 2 mana tokens of that color. Do not reroll this die when you return it to the source. Okay. Okay, perfect. So we're going to use one of the 2 mana that's available to use this power. And then we're going to take a mana die from the source. There it is. And we're going to turn it to any color we want. And we know we want green. Okay, so we turn it to green. Gain 2 mana tokens of that color. Okay, so we're going to gain 2. And then this one just goes back without re-rolling it. So there we go. We're going to get 2 green. Here's our 2 green. And now I know that I can use that to move 4. So I have a total movement of 6. We'll take a look at these cards in a minute. Let's go ahead and move 6. Okay, so back over here, we know that these cost 2, the planes. So 2, 4, and then I get to explore. I'm going to explore over here. Remember, whenever I explore, I get a fame. So I'll mark that here. We're already going for our next level. Let's get the next tile. Okay, again, I have to make sure that I match and that the number is looking downwards. We have another village. We have more orcs. Here we go. There's an orc token. Let's see what we get. Okay, another 3 with the siege attack. And then what is this? Let's go take a look at the reference card. So we found a mage tower, and it says when revealed, place a violet enemy token face down on this space. The token is revealed during the day if a player is adjacent to the magic tower. Okay, and when unconquered, can be assaulted and you gain reputation -1. The defending enemy is fortified. If successfully assaulted, mark it with a shield token, and gain a spell as your reward, which spells are really, really powerful. And then while it's conquered, any player can recruit units and buy spells here. Spells can be bought for 7 influence plus a mana that is the same color of the spell being bought. So they're expensive. So conquering that mage tower and getting a free spell is a good deal. But of course, -1 reputation, always a reputation. Okay, so I got a purple. I'm not gonna look at the back end. There it goes, it flips. I'm gonna put the purple monster up there. We only reveal it if I go adjacent to it. But hey, I'm exploring, and that's what the game's about. So with that, let's see what else can we do during our turn. So far, I've only done movement. I could interact, but I would need to be somewhere to interact. So let's see if we can get anywhere to make this turn a little bit more exciting. Okay, so I used all the movement that I had in my hand, but this card is going to let me draw a card. Heal or draw 2 cards. And you know what, guys? I have this mana that is going to be lost if I don't go ahead and use it this turn. So I'm going to power this up and actually draw 2 cards instead of 1. Maybe we'll get something good. Unfortunately, I only had 1, so I probably shouldn't have used that mana. But of course, I wasn't aware of that at the moment. But this is the card we got. So none of these cards let me move. Let's see, what is this? When you play this, play 1 mana of a basic color. I can't because I already used the die this turn. So instead, because these cards are not going to do anything good for me right now, what I'm going to do is there's one more thing that I haven't showed you that you can do with the cards. And that is you can play them sideways like this. And they can give you either attack 1, move 1, influence 1, or block 1. So the 4 basic actions. So if I use them both like that sideways, I have a move 2. And that's going to let me move to an edge again so that I can explore next turn. So I'm over here at the map, and we're going to move 2 right there. And that's going to trigger the keep. So I get to reveal the monster that's right here. And it's not too bad. It's 4 hit points. It's going to hit me 4. And it has a special symbol that we'll look into in a minute when we decide to attack it. But for now, I know that I'm set up so that I can explore next turn. Now with that, we can go ahead and end the turn. I ran out of cards, ran out of stuff to do. So first, get rid of all the mana tokens and re-roll the mana dice. Okay, so go ahead, re-roll. Okay, no black ones. This goes away. All the cards I used get discarded. And this turn we did not level up, so that's it. Now we can draw back up to 5. But if you take a look, my deck is empty. When my deck is empty and my hand is empty, I need to end a round. So we're going to go ahead and do that now. We are not going to have a turn this time. We're actually going to end the round. And what it means is the day is over. We spent the whole day traveling from all the way from the portal all the way up there, discovering some new tiles. But now it's time to go to nighttime. So what we do is we flip so that we now have the nighttime event. We roll. And we have 2 depleted yellow dice, which is not good. That means we only have 1 die to play with during this turn. The units get refilled. The bottom advanced card gets put in the bottom of the deck, and we get to refill up to 3. Okay. And we could do the same with the spells, but we haven't even visited the mage towers, so I don't want to overwhelm you guys, but we could have 3 spells out here, because if somebody goes to that mage tower, then we can start getting spells. But we'll do that when we get there. I am planning on somehow showing you all of that. We'll see how that works. But with that, we are done. We refreshed everything, so we can continue to our next turn, where we're going to shuffle all of our deck and go again. Okay, so I got these cards. I know I want to try and explore. The only mana available to me is color green. Let's see, move 2. And move 2 is 4. I think that's all I need. I'm right at the edge. So actually I only need move 2. Let's use the blue one since I don't have any blue tokens. So we're gonna go ahead and move 2 and explore. And remember, when we explore, we get a fame. So we're up to 5 already, and we're going to reveal the next tile. And we're going to place it. We're getting ever so closer. There we go, it's number 5. And we have some more orcs that need to be placed. There we go. Actually, they go there. It's not nighttime, so they go face down. During the night, we can't see them. Of course, we don't have night vision, but during the day they will be revealed. And then this little cathedral looking place, let's take a look at what that is. Monastery. Okay, let's see what a monastery does. Okay, at the monastery we can recruit units, of course, that have the symbol that is depicted up here. All right. And there's healing and there's also training. When a monastery is revealed, put the top card of the advanced action deck face up in the units offer. Advanced actions in the unit offers can be bought at any monastery for 6 influence. Okay, and then burning a monastery. You can try to burn it. I don't think I want to do that. But if you want to, here's how you do it. But let's go ahead and put that card, advanced card, in the offerings. All right, so we take the top card and it's going to now be part of down here of our soldiers. So we get 3 units that we can recruit, and now we can also get pure magic, 6 influence, and we have to be at the monastery. Let's see if we get to that. But that was just 2 points of movement. I can keep going. I think I want to show you guys how to get that keep. And it's also going to increase my hand size, which, you know, it's not a bad deal. So I'm going to try and attack that monster. I think we can do it. Let's take a closer look at him. So remember, because the monster is in a keep, it is fortified, which means that only siege attacks are going to work against it. It's got an HP of 4. This little symbol right here is an ability he has. He is swift, so he's harder to block. However, I'm planning on using siege attacks because remember last time when we leveled up, we got some good siege attacks. So let's see if we can do that. If we don't get to attack him, then he's going to do that damage. And look, we're going to get 3 fame, which will be just enough to level up to our level 3 hero. So right here I have range attack, which is not good enough. I need siege. Okay, here's a siege attack of 3, but I need green mana. But guess what? The only mana that's available in the pool right now is green. So lucky us. I'm going to go ahead and use that. And then if we move over to our player board, we see that we have a skill that gives us +1 siege attack. So with that, we get to 4 and we can defeat him. So it's going to give us 3 reputation. Remember, because we attacked, 3 fame. But remember, we lose 1 reputation because we attacked a keep. All right, let's go ahead and get that 3 fame. 1, 2, 3. At the end of this turn, we have to level up again, which is great. You're going to see the other way we get to level up. And remember, we attacked the keep, so our reputation goes down 1, which is still at 0. This is no biggie, I guess. And also, we have to place one of our shields here to indicate that we have conquered that keep and it is now ours. And remember, if we're standing adjacent or on it, then we can increase our hand size by as many keeps as we own, which right now is just 1, but 1 is 1. Okay, last but not least, what else do we want to do? Now I have choices. I'm thinking, actually I don't have choices because I already moved and I already interacted with the keep by attacking it. So I can save my cards to maybe go to the keep next turn and try to do cool stuff there. But as for now, we're done. We're done with this turn. So let's go ahead and clean up. Mana gets back. We roll. Okay, and we have another yellow, which is not going to be any good to us. We'll go ahead and keep these cards because if we don't, we'll run out of nighttime sooner. So we'll keep them. These get discarded. We go back up to 5, so 2 more. Okay. And before we keep on playing, I want to show you what the end of the game scoring looks like so that you see why I'm doing a couple of things and trying to set out shields and doing all this crazy stuff. So let's take a look at what we get points for at the end of the game. Of course, in a solo game, it doesn't matter. I'm just showing you what the game has to offer because it doesn't matter how many points I get. I'm not competing against anyone. They do suggest that you use a dummy player when you're playing solo or co-op, so you have someone to go against. But in the introductory scenario, they tell you that you can just go ahead and skip the whole dummy thing just so that you can get your feet wet and understand the game a little better because as you can tell, it has a lot to offer. But let's take a look at that end of game scoring card now. So another handy dandy card that lets us know how many points we are going to get. And we're going to look at the co-op and solo scenarios. We get 10 points per conquered city. which we haven't conquered yet, but we will at the end of the game. 15 if all cities were conquered. I mean, we're not going to conquer the cities, actually. We're just going to discover them. In other scenarios, we might conquer them. We get 10 points if each player is a city leader, which we're not going to do this game. 30 points for each unplayed round. So if we discover the city fast enough that we don't use all of the rounds, and in this game, we have 2 days and 1 night. And we're already at nighttime. So we're running out of time, guys. We need to move it. 1 per card remaining in the dummy player deck, which we're not using the dummy player, and +5 if end of round was not announced on last round. Okay, and then there's also some bonuses that we can get. So the greatest knowledge, the greatest loot, the greatest leader, the greatest conqueror, and that's the stuff that we need to conquer. The monastery, the keep, which I did. So far I'm the greatest conqueror, the greatest adventurer, and the greatest beating loses -2 points. Okay, so that's what we are looking for. But again, I'm just trying to show you what the game feels like. But these are the stuff that get us points at the end. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do on my turn is I'm going to move. Let's see. Let's actually use this one. And because there's 2 green mana, we're going to go ahead and do a move 4, and we'll see if we need to move more after we've done that. So here's the plan. I want to move over here for multiple reasons. First of all, if I'm here, I can get that crystal, remember. Second, we will reveal the monster that's up here lurking, because now we're adjacent, so of course we're closer so we can see it. So it's a 3 with an ability, which we'll take a look in a minute. And then also I can explore over here. So my other 2 movement points, that's why I spent the green mana to get move 4, because now I can explore and get yet another fame. Did I level up last time? I haven't finished a turn. Okay, I'm good, it's all good. Okay, so go ahead and reveal another tile. Or maybe I should have leveled up. Well, we'll level up now, it's just no big deal. Okay, there we go. So now we have more orcs. There we go. And it's nighttime, so they don't get revealed right away. There's another crystal mine that gives us red crystals, and then there's a hole, some kind of cave. So let's go to the reference cards and find out what that is. Okay, so we found a monster den. While unconquered, you may enter a monster den as your action for the turn. If you do, draw a brown enemy token to fight. If you fail to defeat it, leave the enemy token face up on the space, and someone else can fight it. And the reward is right here. If you defeat the enemy, mark the space as conquer with your shield token and get 2 random mana crystals as your reward. You roll the dice to determine them. So there you go. Okay, so I think I'm done with movement this turn. I moved, I explored, but I haven't interacted. And these guys are right here. Why not? So my plan is to attack them. Now, if we look at them closely, they have an HP of 3. However, they have that little fist there. And what that means is that they are resistant to physical attacks. So all of our physical attacks are going to do half damage instead of full damage. Let's see if we can somehow get to 6 in range attacks so we can defeat these orcs. I know for a fact I have +1 siege attack. So, okay, there's 1. Okay, so here we go. Here's the puzzle. First, I'm going to use that to get a white mana token. There it is. Then I'm going to use this for range attack 3. I'm going to use that token. And so I have 3 plus 1 that I have over there is 4. And then I could use these 2 sideways to get up to 5. However, since it's halved, I would need 6. So I'm missing 1. So I can't defeat him, at least not with that. I can go ahead and have them attack me and then try to block them. So that means that I have to rethink the whole puzzle. Okay, so I can't defeat them with my range attacks. So they're going to go ahead and attack me for 4. Now, this little symbol, it means that if I cannot block this, they give me twice as much damage. So I would be taking 8 damage instead of just 4. However, I'm not going to do that because I have my loyal unit right here, which can give me block 4. And an enemy blocked this way loses swiftness, which he doesn't have. But I have to indicate that I've used this unit. And I'm going to go ahead and take advantage of the block 4. So this is used. Now, siege attacks, range attacks, everything counts now on my counter attack. So I have 1 attack here. Let's go back and check how much more I got. Okay, so again, I'm gonna use my card to get a white mana. I'm gonna use my range. That gives me 3, plus the one I got from over there is 4, and then 5 and 6. I might have miscounted when I was doing the siege attack, but it's okay, you guys got to see a whole lot more. 6 halved is 3, so we defeated this monster. We're gonna get 4 fame, and yeah, 1 reputation because we beat the monster. Okay, so we go 1 up on reputation and 4 fame. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now we've moved and we've interacted, so we are done for the turn. We are going to go ahead and level up. Also, we need to return all the mana back. We're gonna re-roll. Okay, we get a yellow, which is depleted. We got the powerful black mana, which really doesn't mean much unless we have spells, but hey, you know. We discard our cards. And then this time when we leveled up, we actually got a space to recruit more units, and our armor also increased. Maybe, let's see. What we do is we take the top token and we flip it. And we have a space right now for another unit. We are going to be here for levels 3 and 4. And if we take a look, our armor increased to 3, but our hand size stayed the same. Okay, but we have space for 1 more unit. All right, let's go to the next turn. What is the plan? I would love, oh, actually, at the end of my turn, I was standing right here at the blue crystal mine, so I get a free blue crystal. I'll go ahead and set that in my inventory right there. And remember, I can only have 3 of the same color, but I only have 1, so we're good to go. So next turn, my plan is to go ahead and explore. I need to move 2 and then another 2 movements so I can explore over here. I want to get exploring. If I have a chance, I want to go to that monastery, hopefully have enough influence to recruit another troop, or maybe even get that spell that's sitting there, but that's 6 influence. I'm not sure that we're going to get there. We'll see what happens. Let's draw 5 cards. Okay, so this is what I got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So do I have any moves? Yes, actually I need 2 to move to the edge and then 2 to explore, so I need this move 5. And didn't we just get a blue mana crystal? Let's go ahead and use it. Put this here. I'll take my mana crystal from my inventory and use it to pay for that power. We're gonna go ahead and move 2. It seems like we love moving through planes. It's the cheapest. So that's why I keep using the planes if possible. And it's also putting me right where I need to be. So now with my other 2 movement points, I'm going to go ahead and explore, which gives me a fame. We're about to level up again, guys. This is going good. And here's another tile with number 7 on it, getting closer. Okay, we have more orcs. Let's get another yellow. Right here. It is nighttime, so they won't be revealed until daytime. We have another monastery back to back. It's like maybe they're twin monasteries. And then we have this one, which we do not know what it is yet. Let's go find out. We found a dungeon. It says, while unconquered, you can enter a dungeon as your action for the turn. If you do, reveal a brown enemy token and fight it. Yeah, and the night rules apply. Okay, so combat units cannot be used. And then, while conquered, you can enter a conquered dungeon to fight a random brown enemy token. Oh, why would I want to do that? Just to get reputation? All right, well, no thank you. I mean, in another quest maybe, but right now what we really need to do is explore away. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and draw a card to see if I can get another move 2 and reach that monastery. Okay, let's hope for the best here, and we did it. It is a move 2, just what we needed. So I'm still in my movement stage. I've moved 6 total. Go to the monastery, and now at the end of my turn, I can interact with the place. I'm going to go ahead and interact with the monastery, and I'm looking to recruit some really cool units. I have space for 1 more unit, or I can get that pure magic, which is also cool. Okay, what's available here? Okay, unfortunately, I looked at all of the units and none of them can be recruited at the monastery. There's stuff at the mage tower, there's stuff at the keep, at the village, but nothing. But I still have the chance at the monastery to go ahead and get that sweet pure magic, which just looks so beautiful. I mean, why not, right? Let's see if we can make it to 6 influence with the cards that we have. Here comes the puzzle, guys. Okay, first off, I have an influence 2 or an influence 4 with white mana, and there is white mana that at the pool, so I'll go ahead and grab that. That's gonna give me 4. I need 2 more. Now I can just get that by playing these 2 cards sideways, so that could do it. Is there another way that we could have done it? Yes, there is. It says discard another card from your hand to get move 3, influence 3, attack 3, or block 3. So if I discard this card, this is going to give me influence 3. So at the end of the day, it's the same. We'll just play them sideways because they look prettier. And we now have pure magic. When you play this, pay a mana. If you pay green, move 4. If you pay white, okay. If you pay blue, okay. And then move 7, block 7, attack 7. Oh, influence. Wow, that's powerful. Good. This is going to go into our discard pile. Put that right over there. Hopefully get it into our hands soon. So we've moved, we've explored, which is part of movement, and we've interacted with the monastery. So our turn is now over. So we can go ahead, and if there were more players, of course, somebody else would go, but it's us. So we'll return all of the mana that we've used. And we roll again. Okay, got black, red, and a depleted yellow. Daytime magic, or mana, I should say. All the cards we used, so they're all going to get discarded. And we haven't leveled up, so we don't have to level up this turn. We are at the edge, but we haven't made it past the third column, the third row. So now let's go ahead and draw another 5 cards. I know I want to explore, so I'm hoping for another move too. I don't know how many I've used. I can't keep track while I'm talking to you guys. But let's see what we find in the next 5 cards. Okay, this is what I got. I got attack, I got attack, I got attack. And you can use an extra die this turn, but yeah, no move. So you know what, guys? I'm going to go ahead and just flip these 2. Which 2 shall we flip? Let's leave the attacks. Yeah, let's leave the attacks, the red attacks, because I can power them up, and use these 2 to pay 2 movement actions to go ahead and explore. Fortunately, I ran out of cards. I only have 4 cards left. Okay, so explore is going to actually let me move again. So leveling up, very good. And here we go. This is tile number 8. Let's make it so that everything matches. I can't see. Move, Mr. Goldix. Okay, we got it. Okay. We have orcs. And it's nighttime, so they'll be revealed soon. Don't worry about it. So in this new tile, we have orcs. We have another, actually that's not a village. We'll have to go find out. Oh no, it is a village. Okay, yeah, that's a village. We've seen the glade before, so we just need to find out what this is. Let's go look at the card. We found ancient ruins. When revealed, place a yellow token here, face up if it is daytime, which is not. It will be soon though. Face down if it is night. A face down token is revealed at the start of the next day round. Okay. While unconquered, you can enter the ancient ruin as your action for the turn. Okay, there will be an altar there or enemies. We get an altar, then that happens. We get enemies, then that happens. We'll take a closer look when we enter that. We might enter that. It's going to give us mana. It's going to give us guards. It's a good place. Of course, it's probably hard to defeat. All right, I went ahead and placed our token there. It might be an altar. It might be enemies. We will find out only if we enter and decide to go for that. But in the meantime, I've done everything that I can do. I've already explored. I already went to the monastery. I did everything that I needed to do. So also, I know there's not going to be another turn because I ran out of cards on my deck. So we can actually move to the day phase where we flip this. Okay, and then this card goes away. Get a new one. We also refill this because I bought it. We roll. We have to level up. So this time around, we do the same thing we did before. We are going to get another advanced card and also a skill, a new skill. All right, I'm looking at these. Let's take a look. Okay, we have learning, which is going to help us with influence and also give us more advanced action cards. We have magic talent. Discard a card from your hand. You may play one spell, well, in the spell offer as if it was in your hand, so that's pretty good. And frost bridge, which is going to help us move. Yeah, I think we're doing okay with movement. I think I like one of these two. I'm going to take the magic talent just in case I get to show you some magic spells. And actually I should have done that before I refilled, so I'm going to go ahead and refill yet again because I did that out of order because I forgot that I was supposed to level up this turn. But that's that. Okay, moving right along, we are good to go. We're going to shuffle our deck again. We have to refresh all our units, so this guy is ready to be used again. And we get 5 cards. Let's see what we get. All right, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to move, and I'm going to actually move 4 because I'm in a forest, and the forest takes 3. I need one more move to get to 5 so I can go ahead and explore. So I'll go ahead and use, let me see, do I want to use that? I have another one. Yes, well, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and use this as another move. So I have 4 with the green dice right here from the mana pool. 4 plus 1, 5. That's exactly what I need. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so I move, I have a total of 5. I move 3 to this piece of forest right here. And then with the extra 2, I get to explore. And let's see what we get. And there it is. That's what we were looking for. We got it. And there's that city. So let's go ahead and put that city there. Okay, here's White City. Also, we have a keep, which if you remember it, let's just refresh. We need to put a monster there. So, over here, if you ever forget, just look for your keep. They're two-sided, which, you know, and there's a lot of them, but there's our keep. So it reminds you right there, and it makes sense. It's going to be a gray token, a gray monster. Okay, so here's a gray monster, and this is another type of monster. They look like that. They have a weird name, Dracon something. Let me see, Draconum. So when revealed, place a red Draconum enemy token face up. No one can enter a space, so they're pretty much like a pumped up orc, right? Activate. You can challenge from an adjacent space, and then the reward is you get +2 reputation instead of +1 reputation. So they're probably harder to kill. Shall we try it? Okay, well, I know that revealing the city has triggered the end of the game. What that means is that we're only going to have, after this turn, 1 more turn. Everybody gets to have 1 more turn, including the person that revealed the city, and then the game is over. I want to make sure I show you everything. I think I have. The only thing you haven't seen is me taking wounds. So let's see if we can reach this Draconum, and I'm sure he'll beat us down a little bit, which is going to be fine. It's just for you guys to see it. Okay, so I have 3 cards left, and you know what? I can reach there, but I need 3 to move into the forest. And these are all range. Okay, I don't have a lot of movement. I would have to use the 2 cards to move to the forest, but let's do it. So I'm going to go ahead and move here, adjacent. And then with that, because I'm adjacent to the Draconum, I get to reveal it. Whew. Okay, guys. This dude is a 9, so I don't think we can beat this dude. Now, of course, we don't have to attack him. We can decide to do nothing and just chill. The 1 card that I have left in my hand is going to give me Siege Attack 3, which is not bad, but it's not enough. So what I'll do is I'll keep this card in my hand, and maybe we have 1 more turn, we can defeat it next turn. Also, I forgot, because it's daytime, everybody gets revealed. Not that we care, because we're too far away to do anything about them, but now with our elvish eyes, I guess, we can see all the monsters, all the orcs. They get revealed during the day. I forgot to do that, but now they're revealed. Doesn't matter, we can't get to them. What we can do is go ahead and clean up. We are going to keep this card, but everything else gets discarded. Put it up here in our discard pile. We re-roll. Okay, we get a black, which is not good. We go back up to 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And And also we have to level up. We get a new advancement card. Let's see. I see move 2 and heal 1. I like that. I think we're gonna take the refreshing walk. So that goes into our discard pile. Okay, the other thing that we need to do when we level up is grab 2 skills and pick one, just like we did before. So let's see what these things are. Let's take a look at our reference card. And there's this one right here. White Crystal Craft. Once a round, flip this to gain 1 blue crystal to your inventory and 1 white mana token. So a white crystal and a mana token color white. And the other one is the hand right here. Potion making. Once a round, except during combat, flip this to get healed 2. Okay, well guys, being that we're going to be facing tough monsters, I think I'm going to go for the heal. I'm going to go ahead and put it here. And remember, this one just gets dumped into the pool for somebody else to get it, but there's no one else, so it's just gonna get dumped. Now, last turn in the game. Here are the cards that have our destiny written all over them. Let's play. Okay, remember our Draconum? All right, let's see. They are swift, so if we don't block all of it, remember they're gonna do double damage, and they also can poison us, so we wanna try and block everything. Let's see if we can do it. I don't think we're going to get to siege or range attacks 9. We do have 1 from our handy dandy skill. Let's see, what else do we have? We have another siege attack 3, so that puts us up to 4. But I think that's it. So yeah, we cannot. So then they're going to want to attack us, and remember they will poison us. So let's see. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use my unit to block 4, and they also lose swiftness, so even if they do attack us now, they won't attack us double. So that's 4. I still need 1 more block. I'm going to go ahead and use this as a block 2. So I've managed to block all 5. Now we need to do 9 damage. Can we do it? Okay. First up, attack 4. We have red mana in the pool, so I'm at 4. I need 5 more. That takes a green mana. That's 4, that's 5, 6. And I think we can do it. With our magic talent, discard a card from your hand. You may play 1 spell card in the, actually it's gonna be, we'll see. With our 5, we don't have any green mana, because if we did, we would just play this. 4, 5, 6 actually, 7, 8, 9. And that will give us a 9 that we need, but we don't have green mana. We could get a green mana here, but then we can't use it down there. So we're gonna have to leave it to fate. It says discard a card from your hand. You may play 1 spell card in the spells offered this turn as if it were in your hand. That card remains in the spells offered. So we're going to discard this card that we can't use anyways to go ahead and see what's in the spell deck. Okay guys, all we need from this deck is something that lets us attack for 3. So we're gonna reveal 3 cards. Okay, we're going to reveal another card and another card. Okay, oh, here it is. Range, fire, attack 5. So the problem is we need to use, oh, it says as if it was in my hand. Problem is to use the spell we need red mana. And there is red mana here, but we can't access it. So I think that's going to be same issue with everything. We're going to need that mana, and we have no crystals, so I don't think we can do it. At least we blocked it and it didn't give us any damage. I do, however, want to talk about what happens when a unit damages you. Okay, so let's pretend that we weren't able to block the 5 damage and the unit actually, this monster actually did get to attack us. How do we calculate how much damage we take? Well, the first thing that we can do is if we have any available units that block, we can go ahead and block some of the damage. So for example, this unit will be able to block 4 out of all of this. So with that said, there's only 1 more left. So we would have to exhaust that unit, and then 1 damage, 1 wound would go to our hero. But let's say that the unit was already used and we couldn't use it to block. What we do is we compare this damage that they're inflicting with our armor, which right now is 3. So we subtract 5 minus 3. We still have 2 damage left. We take 1 wound, and it will go into our discard pile. Now there's still 2 damage. So we subtract the 2 damage that is left minus the 3, and we're at minus 1. So we're done dealing damage, but we do take 1 more damage. So damage actually is calculated in a weird way. That's why I wanted to kind of talk to you guys about it. So guys, that's it. That's the game. We discovered the city. Of course, this quest was just about exploring and getting to know all the locations, the structures, and what they do. And I think we did a really good job of, just telling you what's out there in the game, what's there to explore, how to do combat, how to take damage, how to influence and recruit units, how to heal. We pretty much covered everything that's in the game. So I hope this video helped you and that you enjoyed it. Well guys, there you have it. That was a full run through of Mage Knight, the board game. I hope it helped you to understand the game a little bit better. There is so much to do in this game, but it's so good when you're doing it. Give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. Also, if you're not part of the village yet, go ahead and subscribe to Meeple Village. We do these kind of videos all the time. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram. We post really cool pictures of your favorite board games. I will see you on the next one, but until then, may you play more games.